Alright, hello, welcome back to my channel, Tony, and I am currently doing, Super Mario, what do you call it, Super Mario World and, Story Times. So today, I'm going to tell you guys about the one time I got pneumonia and the 2 times my daughter got pneumonia. So, when I was pregnant with my daughter, I was probably, I don't know, maybe somewhere between 5 and 7 months pregnant. I genuinely don't remember how far along I was. Far along enough to be able to feel her move. I know that much. And like kick and stuff. And so, probably somewhere between 5 and 7 months, I would say. And I got what I thought was like a cold, but like as it went on, like I couldn't breathe at all. And I hate the feeling of not being able to breathe. Like I would be waking up at night gasping for breath. And it got scary because, you know, it's scary when you can't breathe already, and then add in the fact that, you know, I'm pregnant. So I made a doctor's appointment and I was going to go. And I left my house, I was like on my way to the doctor, and I realized, because the doctor was the next town over, like there's no doctor's offices in my town, so the doctor's office was the next town over, but the hospital was all of a 3-minute drive away. And as I'm driving, I realize I really can't breathe, like really can't breathe. So then I start to mildly panic, and I decide to maybe just drive to the hospital instead. And I get there, and right away they get, you know, they see that I'm pregnant, so they want me to go straight down to the maternity ward so they can monitor the baby, number 1. And so they get me down there, and they're oh my gosh, why can't I say the word monitoring my child, and they're also giving me breathing treatments at the same time. Or actually, you know, I think they gave me the breathing treatments first, because I don't remember if they did the chest x-ray right away and discovered that it was pneumonia, or if they were just like kind of more or less, not really assuming, but like, you know, I guess guessing that could potentially be the situation. But they definitely gave me breathing treatments. And they discovered that I had pneumonia, of course, but they're monitoring my daughter, and they realized that because breathing treatments like kind of speed up your heart rate a little bit, so they couldn't distinguish my heartbeat from hers. So they're starting to freak out, and they're talking about like doing ultrasounds and stuff to try to make sure that the baby's okay. And I was like, if you're worried about like her, I can literally feel her moving right now. I'm like grabbing the nurse and like putting her hand on my stomach. I'm like, she's in there, she's moving, she's okay. So that calmed them down. But they ended up giving me amoxicillin, a steroid, and an inhaler to use. And I fairly quickly got better. I think I only had to use the inhaler 1 time ever. It was like a week after, oddly enough. I woke up in the middle of the night and just could not breathe. But I got done with it, or got recovered from it fairly quickly, I'd say. And then I was all good. And then Alyssa got pneumonia once when she was, well, it was like, she got it not quite twice in a row, but it wasn't a lot of time in between. The first time she was pretty young. She was just barely a year, if that. And she got like walking pneumonia. And that was when we discovered that she was allergic to amoxicillin, because she ended up getting the amoxicillin rash. And so, you know, she had to be on a different antibiotic, and after that she was okay. But then the second time, I remember I was at work, and my husband called me freaking out because he was sure that she had to go to the hospital. And I was like, I think she's okay, but, you know, we'll see when I get home. He was insistent, and thankfully I listened to him, because we get her to River District, or to, why did I say that? To the hospital near me. I don't know why I'm over here doxing myself. But we get her to the hospital near me, and turns out that she has pneumonia, and like they needed to transfer her to Children's Hospital immediately. And so they transferred her to the hospital, and I rode with her in the ambulance, and my husband followed behind in our truck that we had at the time. And I remember being in the ambulance, and Alyssa is screaming her cute little head off. Just screaming, screaming, screaming. And I'm, you know, of course, trying to... Oh, gosh. Oh, my gosh. Sorry. I'm, of course, trying to get her to calm down. And I am not succeeding very well. But I'm, like, stroking her cheek and, you know, trying to... Oh, my gosh. I'm sorry. I'm stroking her cheek and trying to get her to calm down. And she finally starts to drift off and fall asleep. And she stops crying. She's finally quiet. And this poor EMT in the back of this ambulance jumps up and starts checking her vitals so quick because he thought she like passed out or like worse. And I was like, she's just starting to fall asleep. And he's like, okay. And you know, he's like so relieved, and oh, this poor guy. And he's like, I want her to scream as much as possible because it opens up her airways, and you know, it helps her, it helps get the, because the whole time I'm giving her this like this breathing treatment. Oh, poor Yoshi. I'm giving her, I don't know if I said that I'm like holding this, like this breathing treatment, this like whatever you call it, albuterol or whatever it is, like I'm holding it on her the whole time that she's screaming. Or it might have even been oxygen. I genuinely don't remember what it was. I just remember I was holding something. But I'm pretty sure that it was like the breathing treatment, medicine, whatever it is. And so after that, I kind of let her scream more because obviously she was meant to scream. And by the time we got to Children's Hospital, her oxygen levels were almost normal. So thankfully, whatever it was that was in there, it definitely helped, and the screaming helped. But that was one long ride to the Children's Hospital. And then we only had to stay one night, but we did have to stay the night. And then they gave her this cute little like outfit that you wear, like instead of the hospital gown. It was these really soft yellow, like pajama pants, and then a also soft yellow long-sleeved shirt, but that like ties in the ties in the back, like in case you needed to do whatever. And she had like her little IV that had to be in her arm, and it was a very cute little outfit, very soft, and she had to sleep in this little crib. And I think me and her dad just slept in rocking chairs next to her bed, to be perfectly honest. I don't fully remember. That's kind of a blur. I just remember the outfit because it was so cute and she was so tiny in it. I do not have any pictures of her in it because who's going to think to take pictures of her baby when she's their baby, when she's in the hospital with pneumonia, but you know. But it was a very cute little outfit. And then I remember she was much better by morning and they were ready to let us go home, but it, you know, takes a little while for the discharge stuff or whatever. So we were allowed to put her in this little wagon that they have that like her little IV could connect to, and bring her down to this little like common room that they had where they do like games and things like that for like the kids that, you know, have to stay there a lot longer. And it was really cool, and she had a lot of fun, and I was glad that it was kind of like a good memory for her. Like it's not something that like traumatized her or anything, because it definitely traumatized her dad and I. Okay, well I guess we're not getting that. But yeah, it was definitely quite a, oh my gosh, quite an experience. And I'm very, very glad that it was just an overnight and that it wasn't worse. And I'm also glad that we already knew that she was allergic to the amoxicillin at that point, because because I don't remember if she had to be on an antibiotic, but if they would have had to give her amoxicillin and she would have had an allergic reaction on top of everything else that happened, boy, I think that would have been a little bit too much. But yeah, that was the 2 times, and I always kind of wonder if she's not allergic to amoxicillin because I had to have it when I was pregnant with her. Like, I don't know, you know, obviously how allergies work. I'm not a doctor or scientist or genealogist or whatever you'd have to be to know that kind of thing. Allergist, is that a thing? I'm sure it is. Anyway, I'm not any one of those things, so I don't know how allergies fully work, but I would not be at all surprised if it turns out that having some sort of medicine when you're, like something like that, when you're pregnant, would give you a higher chance of being allergic to said medicine. But yeah, so I've always kind of wondered that. But anyway, that's my story of why and how my daughter and I both had why and how. I don't know why I said why and how. I don't know why or how. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm too tired. I'm going to end this. Go ahead and give it a like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Let me know what you think of it. And if there's any topics that you want me to talk about in future videos. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye!